Welcome back to Custom Action Figures 101. I'm Rob Panic. This week we have a review of a action figure kit from Vortious Custom Accessories. This is his Headless Horseman kit, and pretty cool figure kit. We'll get a little bit more into the details. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the review. Now, one of the first things you'll notice about this figure kit is the head. Really cool head on this guy. I'm going to pop it off here so we can get a little closer look at it. He actually has a clear flame molded in red and yellow, cast in red and yellow, excuse me, with an orange pumpkin cast over the top of the flames, and you have a couple of flames coming out of his eyes here. I actually did the highlighting myself as far as where the grooves in the pumpkin are. I used a little bit of the Army Painter's ink tones just to give it a little contrast. But it's a really cool feature, and he's got several heads that have that feature. And if I can get the light to shine down on the top of it a little bit, it gives it a really cool look, because the top being clear, the light will actually shine down through it and highlight the eyes and the mouth. Really cool feature of this figure. This kit is done with one of his extra large bodies, with the Western Hellboy style coat. It comes with a sword, and as you can see, it is an articulated figure kit. It uses his hidden joint style. The hands attaching a peg with a peg, just like G.I. Joe or Star Wars figures. Set that to the side there. They peg into the holes. It also has articulation at the hips, has articulation at the knees. This kit actually has articulated feet as well. They bend as well as rotate, and they attach in with pegs, just like with your G.I. Joe or Star Wars figures. And it also has articulation at the middle of the torso, kind of like a Marvel Universe style or Marvel Legends style figure. Let's get him back on the stand here. Pop his head back on. The material for his soft goods, really flexible, really cool material. The material of the actual arms and legs herself, it's not a real rigid material. It's got a little flex to it. Almost feels like a modern Star Wars figure, almost like the material Hasbro uses. The arms have articulation up and down at the shoulders. It's got the hidden joint there as well. Really cool figure. Now, one thing I will say about the figure kits, it's not going to be just take it out of the package, pop it together, and you've got an action figure. It does take a little bit of preparation to get everything looking really good, but you know, that's something that's pretty common with cast items. You're gonna have a little bit of flash, you're gonna have a little bit of rough spots. I do recommend, you know, get yourself some liquid green stuff to fill in any bubble holes or any gaps in the cast. When you go to paint it, you do want to use some primer. It's going to really help your paint adhere a lot better if you prime it beforehand. This torso was actually white when I got it, and I used some of my water-based acrylic polyurethane Badger airbrush primer to primer it, and it helped the paint adhere a lot better than it would, you know, just straight to the cast material. You're also going to need a little bit of glue. I used some of the Bob Smith Industries IC 2000 for this guy. The actual upper part of the coat was not attached, but the Bob Smith rubberized glue worked really well for attaching this in. You are gonna have to do a little bit of prep work, like I said. I cleaned up the joints a little bit. There were little issues with just some flash and some leftover cast material. No super big deal. I mean, it's no more prep work than what you would have to do with a G.I. Joe or a Star Wars figure that you were prepping it to customize. So, you know, it does take a little bit of skill, a little bit of work to put these together, but the end result is great. I mean, it's a great looking figure, and he has several of his kits available. You can get them either unassembled or assembled. I'm going to have a link to his store and to his Facebook page in the description of the video, and it'll also be in the article for the tutorial. So be sure to check him out. It's Dennis Plourde, Vortious Custom Accessories. Really nice guy. He's been in business for about 4 years now. Got some really cool stuff, so go check him out. Thanks again for checking us out here at Custom Action Figures 101. Be sure to look for our links in the description. Visit us on our forum at serpentor'slear.info, and check us out on serpentor'slear.com on the news site. Be sure to check out my site, galacticplastics.net, and look for all of us on Facebook. Custom Action Figures 101, galacticplastics.net, and Serpentor's Lair. We all have Facebook pages. And be sure to check out my group on Facebook, Custom Action Figures Tips, Tricks, and Trade. We got a lot of really cool tips on customizing from some of the best customizers out there. We're coming up on 2,000 members, so you know, it's a really diverse group. Thanks again for watching, and may the force be with you.